Hey, welcome back to Done Right with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mama of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, it boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use that. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Holy Moses, y'all. Okay. So most of you don't know this, but my Jeep club, it's an all women's group here in Michigan. Every state has one, I believe. I think all the states have a Jeep Babes group. They did a women's empowerment retreat this weekend, and I didn't sign up. It wasn't something that I could kind of fit in the budget. I don't know. And then my social anxiety took over. But then somebody had to something come up and they couldn't go, and they raffled off the spot. So I put in for the spot, and they actually had 3 spots, but one of them was you had to share a room, and I was like, ooh, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. So I was like, okay, if I win the spot with the single bed, it was a queen size bed, I'll go. I'll make it work with my schedule and stuff. There's some things going on at work, and I was like, but I will, yeah. Lo and behold, I won the single room, and so I went, and the anxiety all week leading up into it, like, is it like a stitchy retreat? Do I have to have a gift for everybody? Like, oh my God, I don't have time to make a gift. Then they threw out, oh, we're going to decorate the different doors. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, and those of you guys who know me know, like, it was rough. And then I met with my GI doctor, like the gut brain specialist, and I was like, I'm freaking out about food. Like, they posted the menu, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to eat. What if it makes me sick? Like, what am I going to do? And all this other stuff, right? And I had a really bad appointment with the endocrinologist the week before, who, kind of didn't go well. And then I met with my regular doctor, and that went well. We developed a different plan. But it was all these things like throwing at me, and I was just like, I was literally making myself crazy and sick. And I finally just said, you know what? I can't do it all. And so while I did track down composition notebooks for everybody and pens. I didn't end up, nobody else had done that, so I kind of was just like, and the group had already, in our little gift bags, had supplied us with a smaller notebook with they're really pretty, and a pen, and I was like, okay, I don't have to do this, I can take them back. I have my receipts, I'll take them back, it's not a big deal, because I don't need 68, 69 composition notebooks, like 1 or 2 maybe, but not a whole lot. And then I was like, okay, and then I got up there, and I forgot a charger block to put, like, I had the cord, but I didn't have the block to plug into the wall. And for whatever reason, my phone died. My battery died. So I didn't have the security of having my phone. So then it was like, oh my God. And it's like, okay, it's a sign. Like, we're just going to roll with this. Like, I'm here for a reason. There's a reason I won that spot. And we started out the first night, Friday night, after, like, dinner and stuff, and we hit the ground running as a group. And we started talking about the first question, and the first question is, if money wasn't an object and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? And, when we got time to think about it, and I didn't want it to be a surface answer. Like, obviously I would buy a house, and I would, have a big yard, and it would, that kind of stuff, and I would make sure my bills are paid, but that's not really what the question is. To me, it wasn't what the question was about. It's, what would you actually do? Like, what would you do with your life? And if I didn't have to be a lawyer, what would I do? And I couldn't answer the question. And I'll be honest with you, I still can't totally answer the question. I'm not there yet. Am I getting closer? Yes. But I'm not there yet. But we started delving into, like, what are your, like, then we got a list of statements, like words, and we had to pick our 4 core values. And again, it was really thinking, like, to eliminate words. It was, some of them were hard to eliminate. It's like, okay, but I could roll this into this, and okay, that this word encompasses this one too, to me, like, but then we broke, and we ended up, so each night we all, like, the both night, Friday night and Saturday night, we had banana splits, and then you got to talk, and I was talking to one of the girls, and, you know, one of my core values that I really, and I really truly do believe this is a core value, even if I had to pick, like, other words, it's personal development. And that to me encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses, you know, learning new things. It encompasses, like, fixing old habits. Like, it does. And so that's really important to me. And I said, you know, but what happens if your core value has been twisted so that it's almost a detriment to you? And she's like, I don't quite understand. I said, okay, one of the things I value is personal development or personal growth. And I said, so for me, that means, you know, always learning. And I said, at what point is 6 degrees enough? At what point can I say 5 half Ironmans is enough and I don't have to go for full Ironman? At what point am I good enough? And she goes, then it's not really about the word. It's about, when are you good enough in your own mind? When is, what is telling me that I'm not good enough? And so we really delved into that kind of stuff. And it was, I've never experienced anything like this. And those of you guys who know me really well know that I run nonstop. I don't sit still. And I keep telling everybody, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted in my core. And I just want to be able to take a deep breath. And one of the reasons I don't, that we've figured out lately, and not just this weekend, like, it's been a process of figuring this out, is because I grew up the way I grew up, which was not in a very safe manner, is my body never feels like it's safe. And if your body never feels like it's safe and your body is always in a fight or flight mode, you're not able to relax. And it wasn't safe for me as a kid to just relax, to just sit and be. Like, that wasn't acceptable. Like, it was always, well, what is the next thing? Like, why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you doing more chores? Why aren't you studying more? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? And so one of the things, I had a big jacuzzi, a big pink jacuzzi in my room, like hot tub, and we had a break, and I challenged myself to go and just sit in the hot tub with the water running, because the night before, my friend Sarah and I, we were like, no way. And so we both got, like, clothes on, and we're like, no water running in the tub, and we're sitting in the tub having, like, a conversation, like this heart-to-heart talk. And so during break, though, I filled it up, and I was like, all right, we're going to get on. We're going to get in, and we're going to sit. We're going to sit. And I will admit, like, probably the last 10 minutes out of the 30 minutes, I did end up turning on a video, a Netflix movie, but I still stayed in the water and still, like, chilled. I just chilled for 30 minutes, and it was amazing, and it was terrifying, and it was uncomfortable at times because I'm not used to doing it, but I did it. And that was just kind of, I mean, it was just, honestly, it was just mind-blowing, and I wish every single one of you could experience something like that. So, that said, we had a lot of stuff going on last week. I have a lot of stuff going on this week. I got an amazing package from my friend Stephanie, and in it is just some really cool stuff. First of all, can we just all admire the bag that she made me? And she said I can put my Wiener Dog Wednesday patterns in it. Now that is not a wiener dog, but I don't care because it's amazing and I love it. And absolutely, we're going to go back to Wiener Dog Wednesdays, and my Wiener Dog patterns will be in a Wiener Dog magazine, or in a Wiener Dog folder. Project bag. Where's that hard? And then, she made me this. Stephanie has amazing skills, and she also has, you know what, I'm surrounded by people who have just amazing talents and share those talents. And they teach me to be a better friend, because I didn't learn that growing up. And so I really value those people who accept me as a growing person, and and still love me and still send me presents. And she made this beautiful card. I love that. And I won't read you the message because that's personal. But I love it. And stickers. Stickers. Because we love stickers. And then in there was this adorable, okay, I love the octopus. Like, seriously. He's amazing. And then we got Ghost Pumpkin, which actually, I didn't realize it at first, has the threads with it. So how wonderful is that? I think they're DMC, looking at the numbers on the cards. I think it is DMC. She's really pretty. I'm lucky. So Steph and I stitch a lot of the same things, but we also stitch some of the things that are not the same. And so if she always thinks of me, like, if there's something that she gets pattern-wise that she's not going to stitch and she thinks I will, she happily sends it to me, and I love that. And I'm very blessed, and I know I am. And then she also Stephanie is a strictly Ada stitcher, and her work is amazing. So anytime she gets even weave or a linen, she sends it my way. So yay, they're beautiful pieces. I think Ghost Pumpkin goes on one of these. I'm gonna have to look closer. And then she also sent me, it's on my table, although I'm not sure where. She sent me the Stephen King pattern from the Witchy Stitcher, and I'm not sure I'm going to stitch that one, but those two I will stitch, absolutely. Will I stitch them today? No, I will not. Will I stitch them sometimes? So at some point in the future, yes, I absolutely will. Okay, so then on the way home, I was able to stop at my friend's fabric shop in East Lansing called Seams, and they are online. And she carries Cosmo Floss. She also carries wonderful fabrics and that. But she carries Cosmo Floss. And because I am who I am, God bless my heart, I couldn't figure out where I put my red, white, and blue floss. Put it someplace safe. So when I want to start on September 11th, 13 folds, I have the floss. When I find the other red, white, and blue, I will absolutely use it. You know I will. And then I bought some other flosses, mostly blues. I think the one is going to end up being, I think this one's going to end up too pink for what I want to do with it. If you ever watched Georgia Girl Stitches, a while back she did this pattern of, there are a bunch of different motifs. I don't want to say they're Quakers because they're not. They're not all Quakers motifs, but they're all kind of like overlapping and whatnot. And she did it so it's supposed to look like the water is coming up over to the beach. So it's like this blue on a diagonal, darker blues, and then it builds lighter, and then it goes into the beach. And I've loved it, and I bought the pattern specifically for that. But what I've decided that I want to do is I want to do it more horizontal. So I want to do like the sunset, so oranges and corals meeting the water. So that was my thinking for that. Then also while I was there, I picked up my order, and I bought one for a friend. This is going to go on my patch jacket for my Jeep Babes. So, I love this. I think it's hysterical, and I bought one for a friend. So that I think is funny. And then on the way up, I actually ran across a quilt shop that I'd never seen. I didn't even know it was there. And I went in. I stopped because at first I was running ahead of time. I know, aren't you proud of me? And then I was running behind. But again, who's surprised? It's Kelly. But I ended up buying 4 fat quarters. So if you guys remember a while back, I had been working on my Sylvia's bridal quilt patterns, and they're like 6-inch blocks. And I'm always freaking out that I'm going to run out of the fabric that I have. It's by 3 Sisters from Moda, and the line is actually called Faded Memories, which I think is perfect for the project. This is also by 3 Sisters by Moda, and the colors are so similar that they'll be able to blend in. So I did grab 4 fat quarters there. So that is all of my haul and my Stitch of Kindness as well. See, we're moving and we're shaking. Hold on, my dog bell is ringing. Okay. I apologize. So let's get into stitching, because that's really what you're here for. You're not here to worry about my retreat, but whatever. Hopefully somebody else loves what I share. I don't know. Sometimes I share it just to get it out. Okay, so while I was at the retreat, I thought, well, what better piece to work on than Jeep Van Gogh? For those of you who are not familiar with Jeep Van Gogh, it is a picture of Van Gogh's Starry Night, but in the corner, on the other side, on the side like where the yellow, I'm assuming it's a moon, it might be a sun, whatever the yellow blob in the corner is also a big red Jeep, which is what I drive. I drive a big red Jeep. So it is being stitched on 14 count Aida, which makes it huge. Am I going to start it again? Absolutely not. I started it over once already, because my counting was so badly off that there was no coming back from it. Counting is hard, y'all. Okay, so I worked on this little tower here, and then I worked up in here. We are, I think, over 6% at this point. I think we're nearing 7%. Is it going to be done this year? Nope. Will it get done eventually? God willing. God willing. Okay. I also got to work on, this is stitched on a 18 count Aida in the color Sky by Atomic Ranch, which is one of my favorite colors of fabric. I have a piece of even weave in this, and it's much more modeled, and I love it a little bit better, but I still love this. So I ended up getting, I think I finished this motif. Wait, let me look. I know I finished this one. So there's one more blue up here, and then there's, I think I've got 4 or 5 more squares to do of the dark blue. And then there's, like, in between is a darker blue. Now, remember, those motifs they're supposed to be filled in white. I am likely not going to do the white part. We'll see. But I'm getting close to being able to do the red and white stripes, and that's exciting. Is this going to be done this year? Probably not. Is it going to get further? Yes. I am still struggling to find my joy in stitching on this, and I don't know why, because I love the pattern. I love the fabric. I've switched out my needle because I thought at first that was the issue. I don't know. It's okay. We're just going to keep plugging away. Okay. So, then, up next is my pandemic. Page 6. I have a mistake somewhere. I'm not sure how far back I'm going to end up having to frog. I don't even know how to begin to figure out where the mistake really is. I want to cry. And I don't know how I can budget. So if anybody has any ideas on how to figure this out, let me know. Now I will say we're going to start playing. We've started playing Australian Survivor versus the World. And my Australian piece, I did pick Pandemic to work on. So what may end up having to happen, because I don't know where the mistake is on in that line and page 6. I may just move over to page 7 and go from there. I don't know, because I wanted to go all the way down on page 6, and then it would be I don't know, page 11 or whatever. But if I don't, so I'm not sure how to handle it. But Pandemic and Moroccan Lanterns are my two pieces right now for Survivor stitching. So there's that. Okay. So the other piece that I have worked on really hard, or a lot, because it's my happy stitch. I don't know why. I'm literally only stitching the black right now. Everybody else I've talked to is like, aren't you getting bored? I'm really not. I'm really just enjoying stitching the black lanterns. And I'll go back in later and add in the colors, and I'll be even more ecstatic. But for right now, I'm happy just doing the 310 and stitching my little heart away. Excuse me. And I just broke just over 20%. Kim is just over 40%. So I have to double what I have now, and provided that she's not stitching on her thread at all. But so this is all the way over to this side. That's that lantern, which now causes me great concern that that I'm way off on where I centered. So now I'm sort of getting paranoid. So while I want to finish this lantern and put this one in, part of me feels like I should hurry up and go over here and see how far over it goes. I mean, I have it, and if I recall, let me look at my pattern keeper. Oop. Before my battery dies, because Oop. Okay, so right here is supposed to be, right here is supposed to be the halfway point. Well, I mean, I'm pretty darn close to half. I mean, I'm not folded up correctly, evenly, but oh. Okay, maybe I am off. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe my piece isn't even, because Maybe that's part of the problem. So maybe I really should before I get much further. So we shall see. So that's, I mean, fingers crossed. I have my felony case. My client has decided to terminate our services, both me and co-counsel. He doesn't like the fact that he's actually going to have to pay us. And we aren't going to work for free. That's essentially what it comes down to. And then I fired one of my clients, so I have those motions pending to withdraw because the court's got to approve them. So yeah, lots of good things. We have lots of consults tomorrow as well. I think, well, not lots. I have 2 slated for tomorrow, and then some client calls, and I've got tons of paperwork. It's, those of you who know me know I don't take time off of work. So, like, even when I went to StitchCon, I did, ask the girls, I still did some work. I did no work. On Friday, I took a couple calls and shot a couple texts to people. And, other than that, no, I didn't. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go, though. I didn't see anybody who used the keyword lessons, so we're going to extend this. Again, I will send this to you without my clip, but it is by Little House Needleworks, Schoolgirl Lessons. It's super, super cute. It is tiny. I mean, it's like super tiny. It is 59 by 87. So if you do it on 28 count, it ends up, and I think you do it over 2. Yes, over 2. It literally ends up 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so it will fit in a 5 by 7 frame, which is kind of nice that it fits in a standard frame. But so if you would like this mailed to you, and I did mail out all the previous 3 winners. I heard from all 3 of them, caught their addresses, and they did go in the mail. So if you would like this, use the word lesson, 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 and we'll have a winner next week. Again, please be over 18 so I don't sound creepy asking for your address. Please don't use the word prize or like any of that. It sends the trolls. Nobody needs trolls. So yeah. With that, remember, you are smart, and you are beautiful. You are strong, and you are loved. You are needed, and you are wanted, and mostly, you matter. So with that, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or on the Book of Faces, and yeah. The other thing is listen, let me know, what would you do if money was no object and you couldn't fail? What would you do? Drop it down below. And with that, I will talk to you next week. Bye, y'all.